Welcome back this week in Airsoft. This is Hop here at Dark Horse, back for another installation of Let's Talk Gear, or Let's Talk About Gear. Alright, today we're going to be discussing goggles and eye protection. This is one of the most fundamental pieces of equipment that all Airsoft players and anybody will ever use on the field. It's important that when we decide our gear, a lot of times we're constrained by budget, we're constrained by needs, we're constrained by look, we're constrained by this and that. But eyewear is one of those things that should never ever be short-sold or decided on a whimsical or on a budgetary kind of thought. So when you think about it, after you buy your gun, buy the best set of goggles you can use and you can get. It should be basically in that order. Now, in Airsoft, we live in a knockoff market. You know, a lot of things are knockoffs because we can't afford the real steel stuff, and it's not practical to own the real steel stuff in order to play the game of Airsoft and play milsim games. So that's understandable. Now, there are a few exceptions to the rule in that case that goggles fall into that category. Eyewear should never be, you should never go on a cheap width. It shouldn't be a clone. It shouldn't be a replica of this. It shouldn't be a knockoff of that made from China that doesn't abide the same safety standards. What is the standard for a ballistic lens? ANZ Z87 is the current ballistic standard for all military issued goggles, and that is pretty much standard across the board for military, law enforcement, for ballistic or fragmentation protection to your eyewear and to your eyes, and what the standard should be. Currently, the U.S. Army is issuing Revision. That is the brand that they are issuing the troops. In my time, I've seen them issue Revision, and when I was in fighting in Iraq, we were issued ESS. That's the brand that we were issued then, that the Army was giving out. Along with, in between, Army did a little bit of Oakley for a little while there, with goggles and sunglasses. Mostly the glasses were Oakley. I don't recall them doing too many goggles. They were still doing ESS. So these two brands are probably what I'd stand by the most. Other than now Smith Optics, which we've been testing, and it's a newer player, at least to the Airsoft community and newer to the military community, guys using them now. Smith Optics also has like a regular goggle like these are, but we'll go more into it in a later video and talk a little more about it here in a second. Basic understanding of what's safe and what we should have. All right, I said Z87 rated. It says on the box. You'll be able to see the information on glasses like these. It's actually built in the frame. It says Z87, so you know they're ballistic rated. Now, as these goggles are ballistic rated, and they are so to protect your eyes from fragmentation, these are not the ideal choice for Airsoft. There's too many times that I've been out at local fields and local games that I see Airsofters and you guys out there that went to Home Depot, bought a set of safety glasses. You know, they are Z87 and they're ballistic rated and they're protective, but they are not full seal. You know, there's nothing to stop a BB from coming into the side, or above or an odd angle, that these can still get into my eye and hurt me. Now, 100% seal sometimes is tough, but how do you get closest to that, and how do you get the safest piece of equipment is a foam lining of some kind. So these goggles will have your foam lining. The ESS have their foam lining to create a good tight seal around your eyes. The Smith Optics, even their low profile ones, have nice foam to provide you a good protective seal all the way down and around, and help close off the possibility of any BB getting in. So that's what you want to take into consideration. So 2 points. 1, Z87. 2, full seal. Those of you out there using mesh goggles, they work to a degree, but I prefer, and I will always recommend, an actual full barrier in between your eyes and the world. There is too much of a point. There's too much of a fail-safe. There's not enough fail-safe there. There's not enough of a deterrent there in my mind to completely prevent anything from happening. Because two things could happen. One, it could end up puncturing through. Somebody could have a rifle powerful enough that it could go through your mesh goggles. and your mesh setup. And plenty of guys have said that already. It's not a myth. Just because it's steel mesh is not better than an impact ballistic rated lens that offers you continuous layer of protection, or the BB can hit your lens and fragment, and then those fragments can get right through that mesh, and the fragments go right through the mesh and into your eye. So mesh goggles are not the choice to be picking out there, not to have. It's your eyes. It's a matter of you being able to see. You lose one eye, you lose depth perception. You tell me how well your airsoft goes after that, because you can't signify distance, you can't finger distance and depth out anymore. All right, so that's why a good full seal is important to have. Let's move away from these mesh goggles. They don't fog up. Whoop-de-doo. If you're in a desert game, they don't protect from desert and the wind. So you're going to shoot yourself in the foot in that sense. So I rather have a good goggle that has full protective seal and takes care of the player. Levels of protection that we can talk about and affordability. I know there's a lot of guys out there that say, oh, I can't afford a really expensive $160 turbo fan or $140 fan goggle. All right, we have examples in fan goggles here. These are the SS turbo fans. These are very nice goggles. They use a 2-speed fan. Also, you have Revision's Desert Locust fan goggles right here. Once again, it also uses a fan system that pushes air down, circulates, and helps you maintain the lens cool. You will get condensation, but you won't get fogging. Extreme humidity, you can still get fogging. There's no such thing as a goggle that does not fog. That's a myth. There's no way you're going to prevent that. What you can do is deter it, minimize, and manage it. So your fan goggle would be the ideal. It's the top of the market option because it's an active system that's actively working to prevent it. Now put a little defogger in them too, and it just makes things work even better. But these fans are what I call active systems for reducing and preventing fog. Now ESS also has, and so does Revision, in their just regular Desert Locust. ESS they both have their regular lenses, which do not have a fan. It's just a passive system that doesn't actively help prevent fogging, but allows for the flow and circulation of air. They're nice full seal, good wide area, good bulky protection for a wide area in your face, but they are not actively preventing you from fogging unless, once again, you use like a defogger or a Rain-X inside to help prevent that. But once again, good coverage and good protection, which is what's more important at the end of the day. Now, and those goggles, I think are in the $80 range. Same thing with the Revision ones, depending on what you look, color, and all that, and shapes. But if we're talking about what is a good minimal idea, we want low profile, we want affordable, we want full seal. Smith Optics and Revision both make an extreme or a low profile lens and goggle. The Revision look almost identical actually to the Smith Optics version, except that Smith Optics they both tackle the idea and the issue of fogging in two very, very different ways. Smith Optics uses a system of regulating vents in the top of the helmet, which you can open and close depending on the environment that you're in, allowing air to come in and out of the lens. Revision uses a solid lens all the way through with no regulating system, no venting regulating system up here, but they provide you with wipes and encourage you to use their anti-fog wipes. Now, both systems work very successfully at their purpose and how they work. Now, when deciding and choosing which one works best for you, you take a couple things into consideration. Price point. They're both about the same price. They're both $40, I believe. Once again, correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong. They're both about the same price. But Smith Optics has decided that rather than needing another factor, needing another piece of equipment in order to help make this one piece of equipment work, they decided to make the equipment itself designed so it doesn't need it. So this ventilating system allows for air to come out and allows that heat building up around your face to ventilate out and keep the lens cool that way. The Revision uses their wipes, their anti-fog wipes, which works very effectively. But you have to have the wipes with you. Obviously, you can use them multiple times. It's not a one-time show, but it's another extra system that you have to worry about. When I think about soldier systems and I think about what's tactically sound and what's a more efficient system, I'd rather not have to depend on an extra piece of equipment in order to make another one work, kind of thing. And it's one less thing I don't have to worry about. Are these going to fog up? Yeah, so are the exo shields. They're going to fog up over time because even the wipes, can't keep it all out and can't keep all fogging from happening. And this is going to eventually fog because the venting system is only as good as you are, meaning that as you move, it vents, and when you stay still, you kind of just seem to build up heat. Our tests and our results have found that these work really great as long as you keep moving. So you got to balance it, and look for what works best for you. As far as which is the best goggle, in my opinion, I'll tell you so far Smith Optics is, but that's a later video. But as far as choosing a good, affordable, good protection, right here, both Revision with their Exo Shields is a great product at $40 that you can easily attach and wear. It provides you full good seal protection. It's very low profile, so it's very seamless when you're wearing them. Same thing with the Smith Optics Boogie Regulators, $40, very seamless, low profile, full seal. It does come with you can order an additional helmet kit, which is I think another $10, and it's an awesome value and a great tool. It looks nice on this one too. But there you go. Your goggles don't have to be expensive. There it is, $40. That's better. That is a lot easier for a lot of people to swallow than 130, 160 that I paid for these turbofans. I mean, ESS, they are expensive. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But my personal preference, they're what I enjoy the most. The Revisions are like 130, a lot less. They pull in fans just as well and just as good. So it's another great alternative. All right. So let's remember that when it comes to our goggles and when it comes to the basic safety, that's what exactly we need to be thinking about. We need to be thinking about safety, safety, safety. Mesh goggles are a big no-no for This Week in Airsoft. This Week in Airsoft, none of us will ever say that mesh goggles are a good idea. I'm sorry to you fans out there about them, but you risk your eyes, and personally, I think your all's eyes and our fans and people that watch the video, your eyes are more important, and you should really invest in them. So buy that nice gun first, and right in the same shopping cart, dump in a really nice set of goggles, because they're just as important as your weapon when it comes to choosing the right piece of equipment for the mission. Cheap overseas knockoffs are just that. You don't know what safety rating they're set. They say they're ballistic lenses, but there's no way for you to know, honestly, because that manufacturer overseas is not going to answer to you when something goes wrong. You don't have to worry about that. I want Z87 ballistic rated, protecting the same thing that our troops use to protect themselves is what I think airsofters and we should be using to protect our eyes. It says a good high standard for safety and everybody to enjoy the game. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. All right, choices once again: low profile Smith Optics or Revision Exo Shields, ESS, Revision ESS regular, their low profile goggles, or Revision Desert Locust to be your next level. And then your top of the line ESS turbo fans or Revision Desert Locust fans. Once again, that's kind of the scale and how they go. What you choose is what's appropriate for your budget and to your mission. Remember, safety is important, and we always want to keep an eye. This is Javier, Dark Horse. I'll talk to you guys next time.